we were young, we went to Italy. You dropped your phone outside of Napoli. We asked Ed Norton, hey man, where's the lost and found? This is what we were told. What happened to my goal? Folks, bienvenido, is that Italian? To Gold in 16 Seconds, the podcast that dares to ask, what was the deal with that 2003 Italian Job TV spot? I'm Alex. This is my friend Ray.
Hello.
I'm not licensed to drive in any country, but you are?
Yeah, at least one.
Okay, so we're kind of qualified to do this.
Sure. Well, I don't know exactly what driving has to do with the podcast. I mean, I know the movie involves vehicles, but...
Well, I was under the impression you had to have a valid driver's license in order to be admitted to the movie.
Do you need a license to talk about this movie in general?
Yes! I mean, in Japan, you do. I've gone through all the proper channels. I'm trying to think of a Japanese equivalent of dotted my I's and crossed my T's.
I hooked my radicals and...
I've dotted my A's and crossed my Su's. Hi, everybody.
I like the ones that look like smiley faces. Anyway, hi, yes.
So, let's talk a little bit about why we are doing this show.
Yeah, what is this?
We discovered a long-lost TV spot for a film that we watched. We didn't watch the film, but we watched TV spot in
All
2003.
Right. How many words are you going to pronounce funnily in this?
All of them.
Oh, great.
The Italian Job is a 2003 American heist action film directed by F. Gary Gray and starring, check this out, Mark Wahlberg, Charlize the Heron, some sort of bird, Edward Norton, Jason Statham, Seth Midori.
Can I leave you?
You're not even participating.
How can I participate with this?
Most definitely. And Don Sutherland.
Correct.
Okay.
Based on the original, starring...
No, here's the deal,
Mark
though.
Wahlberg
It's not...
Sr., Charlize Theron Sr., Edward Norton Sr.,
Mr. Statham.
and probably deaf.
Seth Deep Green. Probably deaf. And Kiefer Sutherland's grandfather.
Yeah.
All right. Now, here's the fun thing about this. I don't think that we've seen this movie.
No, I'll tell you what else.
What's up?
This show is not about watching the movie.
No,
we're not watching the movie.
No.
Fuck the movie.
I refuse to watch this movie.
No, I did have to scrub through it to make our cover art, but I'm not spend a lot of time watching it in general.
Right?
I just know what the commercial is, what we're going to talk about. We're not going to talk about the actual film. This is not one of those shows where it's about the production or whatever. However, I do believe Edward Norton was forced to make this film.
What?
Yeah. He got into some contractual shenanigans and the studio basically coerced him professionally into doing this film.
Oh, geez, Ed.
So I think he's a little bit checked out in it. But,
Edward Norton is one of those actors that I tried to get. I don't have my drops with me, but I was trying to get more actors and Hollywood people speaking Japanese, like Konichiwa Nihon no Minasan, Steven Spielberg des, or Michael Bay des. And I found a clip of Edward Norton, and I forgot. Oh, right, Edward Norton actually speaks Japanese.
Oh, okay, I didn't actually know that.
Yeah, there's a clip of him just like doing a press thing in Japan, and he's just speaking Japanese naturally. I'm like, oh, right, he speaks it. I forgot.
Oh, well, I suppose... Why?
I before he made it big, I believe he taught English in Osaka.
Oh, my God.
I don't know. I don't remember if this is accurate. I think his grandfather owned an English school or something like that. But yeah, I guess he got his Japanese real good.
Wow. So you two have something in common, don't you?
Yeah, we've both been to Osaka. But this is all based around the 2003 TV ad spot that had some of the most awkward editing I've ever seen. But you know what? We'll get to that later. We'll cover that when it happens. You want to know? You want to know what we're covering this episode?
Yeah.
Here it is. Let's take that again. There you go. Have one more, just to get a clean one.
Yes, please.
That's it. We're going to be examining this TV spot second by second, episode 1. There we go.
It is a total of, the show is called Gold in 16 Seconds.
Yes.
We are basing this on the entire length of the video file that we discovered.
True. Yeah, when I was cutting these apart, I kind of realized there's like a half second on either end that's just other ends.
Right.
So
which
really
is beautiful. I'm into that. I don't care about that, but my point is, in industry terms, this would be a 15-second spot.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, it should be gold in 15 seconds. Yeah. But you know what? That doesn't work.
No. And you know what? It doesn't in reality, but it works for us.
That's right.
Can we hear it one more time? This is what we're covering today.
Oh my God, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so to set the stage here, why don't we go back in time? Let's talk about where we were and what we were doing in 2003.
Yes, exactly.
I was living in my very first apartment just off campus of Ohio University in beautiful Athens, Ohio. I think I had just broken up with a girlfriend. I was just really not great, just struggling to sort of be a responsible student and not spend all day playing video games. I ended up managing both.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. But one of my fond memories of that time is just watching TV with you, because I was on the East Coast and you were on the West Coast.
Yeah. So now let's get into this part.
Okay.
First, a bit about me.
Yes.
I was born in June 1983.
Okay. Skip ahead.
Okay.
Okay.
So for anyone who doesn't know or forgot, I'm only about a month older than Alex.
That's right.
I didn't.
Senpai.
I was not in college. I was, in fact, slowly turning into a dirtbag.
Oh, no.
A hikikomori, as they might say in Nihon.
Oh, wow.
So I wasn't in school. I had basically just failed to afford any kind of school. I did a year later end up just like traipsing into community college to try and get some semblance of my life together. But most of the time I was at home, and my mother was out of the house a lot of times at night because she had a boyfriend, essentially.
Gary?
No, she was dating a pastor.
Okay.
And,
are they allowed to?
Well, Lutheran.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yes, they're allowed to.
Yeah. And so for, many, many weeks, she would be out on evenings, basically for the entire rest of the night. And, I'm old enough. I'm a legal adult, so whatever. I can still stay home. There's no problems there. So I took advantage of that home alone time, and as Alex just intimated, watched TV with him over the phone.
Yeah, it was fun.
Which we would now essentially do, let's say, over Discord if we watched, Netflix together, for example, or something like that.
Yes.
But this was our greatest consistent connection between the two of us, because we had met before. We were longtime internet friends, but we met from the Gaming Intelligence Agency.
Oh yeah.
And, we had met for the first time in person after months of being internet goof-offs at E3 in 2002.
Yeah, let's not forget that this was like 2.5 years into a 2-decade relationship.
Right,
So it's I mean, in hindsight, it feels like, oh yeah, that's how we did. That's how we do. But it was like really early days.
Well, early days for us, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, but I think it speaks to just how quickly we connected and basically just sort of played off each other pretty well, and we're up for anything, including silly little entertainment.
That's right.
Gap fillers like this phone stuff.
Yeah. No, wait, hang on a sec. Are we sure this was 2003? Because when we first started writing for the GIA, that was in autumn of 2001.
Yeah.
during which I don't think anything eventful happened.
No, not to my knowledge.
No. And yeah, E3 2002. But I'm thinking about this in the context of where I was living, because when we started writing for the GIA, I was living in the dorm in Bethany, West Virginia.
Yeah, I don't know exactly when we actually started these phone calls, but it must have been right around the time I started to have some time alone at night.
Cool.
So yeah,
but like, hang on, I'm trying to put this timeline together in my head, because I think I was living in 4 places in 3 years. Hang on, I was in Bethany in 2001, and then I moved into a dorm that I switched schools. I went from Bethany College to Ohio University. I went from West Virginia to Ohio, which I think most people would agree is an upgrade, if not a sad lateral move.
We'll get into reasons why later.
Oh yeah. Well, I can get into it now. I just I didn't like Bethany College that much. It was, I don't know. I thought that's what I wanted in a college, was just, it's in the middle of nowhere. I get to hang out with my friend Brad. Those were good. Those were the perks.
Right,
it was very secluded, and my friend was there. But there was nothing else really about the school. I just felt like I didn't belong there. So then I transferred to Ohio University, which is where my older sister went. And Ohio University still wasn't perfect, but at least it was better, and that is what opened the door to me eventually studying abroad in Kasugai.
So we call it Bethany College. Was it really more of a community college?
I don't. I mean, it was a proper college. It had a campus.
Well,
it had dorms.
No, I'm saying if the school's name has college in it, it's usually a community college. If it has university in it, it is a university. Even though us stupid Americans, we call them both college, but I'm just saying that, yeah, if it's in the name, is what I have started in conversation just saying university by default, no matter who I'm talking to. Yeah, me too. Same with Mega Drive.
Right? In Japan, they call it the Rock Drive.
No, you missed it.
Fuck. All right. That's fun. But it was the other thing that was fucked up is that Bethany worked on a semester-based system, which I believe is normal, but then Ohio University works on a trimester system, which is bonkers.
Yeah, that's unorthodox.
As a result, I wasn't over to transfer over all of my credits for some reason.
Ugh. You should have been able to. You had more mesters.
I get more mesters.
Spread them around.
I don't want to.
Come on.
I hated college. It was dumb. I only went because I had to. I think a lot of us feel that way. I feel like if I did it now, I might get more out of it. I just think I did not mature as a person until a couple years ago. It's really been a wild ride.
Let's see.
No, I mean, They say that your brain is not done like forming into the person that you are going to be for the rest of your life until your mid-20s, and
maybe I would say definitely if you're male.
Yes. It also doesn't help that I grew up in just a white upper class bubble, and my view of the rest of the world was very skewed until I got out and lived in the rest of the world and had a chance to sort of normalize my brain and interact with, other people.
Yeah, in a city.
Yeah, and that was a part of the learning process. So like I didn't really become, I didn't more or less get set on my brain path, we'll call it, until probably my early 30s, late 20s.
Yeah, I get that. I kind of didn't get really forged in the fire until I moved to San Francisco.
Oh yeah, that'll fuck you up.
Yeah. Oh, it did.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But yeah, a lot of years of still kind of growing and learning not to be too upset or generally mean, all those things.
Yeah.
And now here we are, almost 40.
Almost, not yet.
Nearly.
I'm still 38.
We will be when this podcast is over.
That's true.
The series.
This is going to be the one that takes us to 40. No, it's not. Is it? Sure. Actually, yeah, it will be. Yeah. Hang on. What is it now? April? Yes, it will. We will be 40 by the time the last episode of this comes out. That's great.
Are you sure?
Yes.
We could speed these up a little bit.
All right. Maybe we will. Maybe we will look into camera.
This is supposed to be a bonus show. I mean,
That's true.
I understand the need to spread it out, but it'll be around, you know, for people to come and partake later. People who are latecomers to the Patreon.
That's true.
Anyway, I guess this is too much inside baseball. I was just goofing around.
The goofing's great.
What else about 2002/3?
Well, no, here's the thing. I'm trying to trace the timeline of where I was living at the time, because I started off in Bethany College, and that was autumn of 2001. Then by spring of 2002, I was living in a dorm in Athens at Ohio University. And then by the next semester, I guess I was in another dorm. I could not have been off campus within 2 years. I was at college for 5 years. Hang on. I guess 3 of those years were spent in apartment. I don't even remember, man. I guess I just had such a negative experience. I'm trying to block it all from my mind.
I get it. Yeah. I was struggling to come up with how I was even able to do the phone calls at night until I realized, Mom wasn't around.
It was not a great time mentally, because that was also sort of, that's where I was starting to come out of the bubble. I was living alone off campus, and just not connecting with anybody my age. I had no friends in college. I was close-ish with the other kids in the study abroad program, and maybe some kids in my Japanese class, but I would not say I ever had friends in college. I never, ever went to anybody's dorm room to hang out or do anything.
Yeah.
I just went to class. I went to the dining hall alone, went to class alone, came home, played games alone for 4 years. And then the last year, my girlfriend came to live with me for a year, and that was fine. But even then, we were recluses together. We just stayed inside and played FF11 all day.
Yeah, I think maybe the real culprit here is that game.
Maybe. Actually, yeah, because I did start playing FF11. Right, when did that come out? Was that 2002 in North America?
Yeah.
I know it was 2002 in Japan. Was it? It wasn't a simultaneous release, but I think it was close-ish.
That was like late 01 in Japan.
Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, that's right. When Rise of the Zalart came out,
yeah,
that's when it also came out in North America. Okay. Yeah, and then I just fell deep into FF11, and that's kind of all I did until I graduated.
But I also get the point that, like, you know, it's different making friends in a college situation, especially if you're a certain kind of cynical person, like I think at least I was, where it's like,
yes,
it's like people are not, well, rather you're judging people a lot more often.
Yes.
People are not meeting your standards. And it's like, it was great when you were smaller and you could connect with other kids easier because your shared pool of interest was a little bit shallower. But now,
yes,
as you're getting into adulthood, it's like things are getting a bit broader and a bit mixed up. And it's like, I don't want to just be friends with just the guy who just likes anime. You know?
Yeah.
It would be great if someone had a more rich tapestry of interests, or at least was smart as I was.
Oh,
you know, these are all things that you say to yourself.
That's the other part of it is I wasn't entirely sure who I was yet.
Yeah,
I was just sort of acting as an extension of my high school self, and that wasn't getting me anywhere.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, when I am amazed that my friends still hung out with me in high school, because I think I was unbearable.
All right. You're talking about Brad and Smoo.
Brad and Smoo. Yes, my two good friends, but really the only two friends from high school that I can still call my friends. Just because I think I gave up jeans as some sort of protest. I think I was against jeans because no, jeans are for the cool kids. I'm not cool. I wore khaki pants to school every day.
Oh.
I think all throughout high school.
I got to be honest with you. I also was weirdly avoidant of jeans.
What?
I'm not even sure the reasoning why. But I think even as far back as like middle school, maybe 9th grade.
Yeah.
There was a period I may have been wearing sweatpants a bit too much.
Whoa. Okay.
But the real pants that I had were corduroy and I think some khakis. So yeah.
The real pants busters.
Well, you know, real compared to sweatpants.
Right. Yeah. Nowadays, I don't know if this is to do with, just the way that we naturally gain weight as we grow into adults. But
what we do?
Jeans are, oh yeah. Oh, you haven't heard?
No.
It sucks.
No.
Don't do it.
No.
I love jeans. I got all kinds of jeans. I got relaxed fit jeans. I got some tighter jeans for when I drop weight every couple of years. They're great.
Yeah, they're fine now. I think I think even slightly before I moved to California, I was wearing jeans, so it wasn't a problem anymore. But it was just one of those weird kid things,
Yeah, it was. I think the reason that I was able to rediscover and enjoy jeans is because I was sort of living in a social vacuum in college, and my mom would just send me clothes, and she just sent me a pair of jeans one year, and I put them on. I'm like, oh, these are real comfortable. Oh, I just want to wear these. These are great.
Well, but now, go ahead, finish.
I was just going to say, until that point, my first year of college, I was just dressing like the most punchable kid on campus. Like I showed up to a sociology class one day, just wearing khaki pants and a button-down olive shirt tucked into my pants with a brown leather belt and a tie. Like I wore a tie to class. Just because I felt like I wanted to. Like, I want to dress up. I never dress up. I just want to dress up.
Yeah. The tie makes the man.
Yes. I showed up wearing this get-up. I basically look like, Naked Snake on his day off visiting the White House or whatever. It was just all khaki and olive. And my sociology professor thought that, because I guess this was common, he thought I was being punished for, like, it was like a frat thing, because I guess, like,
oh my god,
like I'm not necessarily hazing. What's hazing but it doesn't kill you? Initiation?
Yeah, sure.
They would just make kids just wear a tie to class as some sort of quote unquote punishment, and I guess he and everyone in the class thought that's what it was, and I was so embarrassed I never bothered dressing up again for class.
Sure. Well, I just trying to imagine that get up, I feel like you probably could have squeaked through if you didn't have the tie.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah. You might not.
I mean, that's the thing. Is it like, that's where the line is. It's the tie. Because
you say, of course, like I'm the idiot.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that to you. I'm saying that, like,
all right.
I'm explaining to people that's where the line is you can show up to class wearing a button-down shirt tucked into khakis with a nice belt, and no one's going to say, you're dressed up too much. But as soon as you add a tie to that equation, it's like, hey, buddy, you're making the rest of us look bad.
Well, times have changed,
Ties have changed.
Yeah. True.
I used to have a Jerry Garcia collection. Now I don't.
I was going to say, times have changed as far as acceptable attire, I suppose, in class, because my math teacher has worn 2 different Nintendo 64 shirts.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think she's in her early 30s. So,
wow.
Yeah. She's been wearing N64 tees.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, cool lady.
Cool. Math is power.
That has, of course, confirmed to me that I will not be wearing any of my game shirts to that class.
Oh, because it'll generate conversation.
I don't know what it'll generate, but it won't be good.
Oh, no.
It won't be good in my head. So I don't want it to happen.
I had one of those moments in my, I took a music theory class in college just as a prerequisite. I mean, I was interested in music, but I just needed the class to graduate, and that's mostly what it was.
Yeah.
And the teacher was also a young guy. He must have been in his late 20s, early 30s. And I think like my first day of class, I had a Pixies t-shirt because I'm a big fan of the band, the Pixies, and he saw it, and we just started some small talk, and that was fine. But then I wore it again a couple weeks later, and maybe this is maybe this is a highly sensitive person thing, the fact that I pick up on this, but I just happened to be looking at him while he was looking down at his desk. I think this was before or after class. And then he looked up and just immediately looked into my eyes, and it was incredibly awkward for both of us.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? So he, I guess without thinking, just very awkwardly decided, well, we've just awkwardly made eye contact, so I have to say something.
Yeah.
So he just launched right into, so which Pixies album is your favorite? I'm like, well, I really like Surfer Rosa. I think that's my favorite. And it was such an awkward exchange. And I could tell he was only starting that exchange because I had caught him off guard by for some reason staring at him while his head was down.
And then he tries to add a fist bump onto it. That didn't work.
I know, it was and then a chest bump. It was 2003.
Ooh, male bonding.
But then, from that point on, I couldn't wear that shirt to class anymore in the off chance that it would spark another awkward conversation.
Yeah. Well, it just goes to show, never display your interests.
No, yes. That's something that I've kind of realized in the past 5 or so years is that the more things that you advertise on yourself, the more conversation you're opening yourself up to from randos that you don't want to talk to.
No. That's how I got my first girlfriend in college.
Wow. Wait, really?
She had a Weezer button or patch on a bag.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So I used that as my pickup.
There you go. So you like bags, huh?
Yeah.
Holds all your books.
It wasn't too far off from that, yeah.
Oh, no.
Didn't even like Weezer that much, but
trying
to find some camaraderie. Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, Weezer's another thing that was very 2003 for me.
Yeah.
Because I was really into Weezer, and I saw them live 3 or 4 times, and then there was a period, I think it was after the Red album came out, where I just fell off completely and I couldn't get back on. Because there was a time when like I was forgiving them a lot of their missteps after Rivers Cuomo like found happiness and wasn't sad anymore and couldn't write really good songs unless he was real sad. But also like good for the guy. He got married and he's happy now. And now he's just making money writing pop songs, which is whatever. That's fine. But it's not why I started listening to them in the first place.
No.
And then I just kind of fell off. Like, I do think the Red album was mostly pretty good. But then after that, I just really fell off.
Yeah. I can't relate.
That's fine.
I've only listened to a little bit of it, mostly through her.
Oh, boy.
She gave me all her MP3 collection of it. So.
MP3s?
Yeah.
Cool.
I might still have it. I keep all that stuff.
I remember in, I think, 2002, I used to follow Weezer's online activity, and they would upload demos that they recorded, but they'd only be up there for like a couple of days.
Oh.
So like, but because I had bookmarked the site, I would just download every demo as soon as it was available, because a couple days later it would be gone. And I think I have a collection of a couple dozen of these like early 2000s demos on a hard drive somewhere, and they're fascinating. Some of them went on to become actual album tracks. Some of them never went on to become anything.
Yeah, sure. Not to like discredit you or make you feel bad. I feel like if somebody has them, they're already probably out there.
Oh, absolutely.
There's bigger Weezer fans. I'm sure people who love the Red album, love everything. Collected all of it, yeah. So.
Right. The retired Extremely Dangerous album.
But hey, still, if you still got them, let's see them. Let's see the goods.
Put those MP3s on the glass.
Exactly. Thank you.
Oh, man. All right. So I'm living in my first apartment off campus.
We still haven't figured out where you were living.
I know, dude. I bounced around so much in the early 2000s.
Narrowed it down to the United States,
Eastern time zone. So we lived in Pittsburgh, just outside of Pittsburgh, from 1989 to 2001. My parents moved to New Jersey in 2002. I moved to Bethany, but here's the thing: I only half moved to Bethany in 2001, because while my parents were in the process of moving, they didn't move until like spring 2002. So I would still drive home from campus every weekend and just live my life at home like I was in high school again. And I think part of that was just because I was too terrified to go live on my own. Like, I don't want to go and socialize with other kids on the weekends on campus. I want to come back to the womb, so to speak.
I guess,
because my room is still there. My family's still there. I just come and go as I please on the weekend.
That is a common thing, though, for a lot of kids who live locally.
Yes. It wasn't until they finally moved to New Jersey that I had to live on my own every weekend.
Yeah.
And thank God, that's when I I think that's around the time Phantasy Star Online came out on the GameCube. I played a lot of that.
Uh-huh. How did they break the news to you that your parents were moving? How did they break it? How'd you take it?
I think we knew well in advance. Like, this wasn't a sudden thing.
All right. I'm half joking, but just based on what you were saying and how dependent you were on going home and hanging out on the weekend.
I didn't process it at the time as a negative thing. I was just like, oh, cool. I get to go to New Jersey now for Christmas. It wasn't.
All right.
But then that also sucked because they were having a house. They were building a house in New Jersey. And until it was done, they were being put up in this a really shitty rental house that was just really dilapidated and full of bugs and not a great place to live. And they were there for like 2 years. They were there for at least a year longer than they were supposed to be because the contractor was taking his sweet time building this house.
No, that'll happen.
Yeah. And then they finally moved in, and that was fine. If I'm visiting New Jersey, go to Christmas in the new house. Very nice, cool. But yeah, I did not. It was not a big deal to me that they were moving from Pittsburgh to Jersey. And now they're back in Pittsburgh because my dad's retired, and that's where most of the family is anyway.
Sure.
So they're just hanging out there.
All right. Did we figure out now where you were?
I know where I was. I'm just trying to remember how I got there because listen to this. In 2001, I was in Bethany. 2002, I was in my first dorm. But then I think in the late 2002, I was in my second dorm because I think I lived in 2 dorms.
Can we work backwards a little bit since we're so close? What do you remember of the room in which you were talking to me on the phone watching this commercial?
Raymond, I know for a fact.
You don't have to yell.
What room do you know me? I know for a fact what apartment it was and what the room looked like and everything. What I'm saying is, how did I cram so many living spaces in just 2 years?
What I'm saying is, just work backwards. Just tie the end together.
Okay, so
that's why I said don't yell.
First apartment, 2003. Before that, I was in the haunted room. I was in the haunted dorm room.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it was haunted. Maybe I was pranked. I had 2 creepy things happen to me in this dorm room. One was, this is easy to explain as a prank, is my phone rang at like 2 a.m. and woke me up. And this is a loud ass 2002 hang on the wall actual bell phone.
Oh, yes.
That is stupid loud at 2 a.m. And I pick up the phone and I say hello, and just someone on the other end screams into the phone and hangs up on me. So I think that was just a prank.
Yeah, that's just stupid kids.
But then the real spooky thing that happened was my printer, I don't want to say turned on, but my printer started moving in the middle of the night and printed out a single sheet of A4 paper that in giant bold black text just said please. And that freaked me the fuck out. Like, when that happened, I unplugged the printer and just crumpled up the paper and threw it away and went back to bed.
Was it all caps?
I don't remember, actually. Okay. I don't think so. But I mean, even that, I mean, that could be explained away as a prank, but who knows?
Or maybe just the printer catching up. Like, maybe you printed something earlier in the day, but the job didn't finish. And so, but it's also like badly scaled and the printer just printed it wrong.
Oh, you're right. Because when I went to turn in my term paper and I was missing the last page, and my professor said, hey, where's the page at the end that's supposed to say please in giant letters? And I'm like, oh, you're right.
No.
I know what you're saying. Oh, we have fun.
Yeah. This was the show.
This is the show.
This was the call, rather.
So that's it. So that was the haunted dorm. And then before that was my first dorm, which was I was lucky enough to move into a corner dorm. Because I moved in halfway during the semester, I lucked out because whoever was in the corner room, I guess, had the same idea that I did at Bethany, which is I don't belong here, and left. And so there was a nice corner room for me to move into when I got to OU. And that was fun. I remember these places based on what games came out, and that's when Resident Evil Remake came out. And oh boy, was I super excited.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. But now also that is, I think, the time I most embarrassed myself in front of strangers up to that point.
Okay.
Because I think it was my first time like drinking with other people.
Oh.
And I think it was Halloween. I think because Ohio University is famous, or at least was famous for its Halloween parties. I believe Ohio University was Playboy's #1 party school for many years running, based mostly on the Halloween party.
All right. And so now you deigned to go to a party of some sort.
Yes. I'm in the dorm. I've got to try to socialize. So I went out to a Halloween party with everybody. And I don't remember any of it. And I don't think that's because I was drinking. I just think that's because it was boring.
Yeah.
And we ended up coming back to the dorm and just drinking rum and cokes. And we're just sitting around the dorm commons area, and someone pulls out their acoustic guitar and starts playing some songs. And everyone's kind of drunk, and I'm also drunk, but I'm also drunk, but I'm also still young enough to believe that everyone likes me. Hang on. I also play an instrument. And I ran back to my room and I brought out my bass guitar and amp.
All right.
Now, keep in mind, I didn't play it at the time. I just had it. Because my sister got a new bass and she sold me hers for real cheap. And so I had started teaching myself how to play it, but I didn't know.
Okay.
I just plugged it in and I turned on the amp, and I don't know anything about playing it, but I'm just trying to play chords, or not chords. I'm trying to play notes that match what the acoustic guy is playing, and none of it matched. And you could just see people one by one leaving the room like, I'm gonna go to bed. Just a lot of that until Bass Dingus takes the hint and also goes to bed. It just, in retrospect, very awkward. What the kids call cringe?
Yeah.
Post cringe. Oh, it's me. Me.
Well, you made an attempt.
I did. Yeah, I didn't talk to anybody else for the rest of the year. I'm just like, well, that's it for me, everybody.
God, yeah. You were just talking to me, huh?
Yes. You were my lifeline during those years, because I did not have any local friends.
Yeah.
I had nothing. Which brings us to, what were we watching? Do you think it was Food Network, or do you think it was Adult Swim? Or both?
Oh, what was first? Yeah, I mean,
because I remember in that apartment, I remember watching a lot of both with you. A lot of Unwrapped, a lot of Good Eats, a lot of Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
I don't even really remember the Adult Swim schedule. Was it on weekdays?
Yeah, it was on every night.
Okay.
Yeah, it was, and because I was on the East Coast and you were on the West Coast, it repeated 3 hours later.
Yes, so the wonder of television broadcasting in those days.
So I would watch the initial broadcast on the East Coast, and then by the time it aired on the West Coast, the East Coast was re-airing it, so I could watch it with you, the same episodes in the moment, which was great.
Not sure why they even bothered to do that. I guess for people maybe on either coast, perhaps, who stayed up really late, or not just us, but people who are home late as part of their job or something.
I think you mean why did they repeat it? Because I think it's just they only have so much programming, so you have to fill out an entire block. Let's just repeat it.
Oh, yes, I understand that much. I was trying to make a point that I already lost in the middle of trying to say it, so I apologize.
Cool. But yeah, this is the first second of the 16-second/15 second ad spot for the Italian Job. We were either watching, we watched only two things together, really, and that was Food Network or Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
I don't know, probably Adult Swim.
It's true, maybe a bit of Comedy Central.
Oh, yeah, Daily Show.
I don't remember exactly. Maybe Daily Show, possibly Insomniac with Dave Attell.
Oh, yes! Oh, man.
I remember those at least being my favorites.
Oh, Insomniac was great.
I don't know if I was watching with you, but yeah.
It's possible.
The thing is also, I watched a lot of that, particularly Comedy Central, in the computer room, which had a separate cable jack that I then hooked into a TV capture card. So I had bought a capture card from my computer back then and just hooked in the cable to it and would just watch like fucking Comedy Central and other stuff on there and take screen caps of funny things.
Yes, I did too. I think you recommended the capture card to me.
Okay, yeah.
And that's what I ended up buying. And yeah, so then I would watch TV through my computer and take screen caps. I mean, I think originally the idea was so we could take video game screen caps for Crunk Games.
Yeah, I mean, that was definitely a part of it. But the other thing was being able to get funny screenshots of TV shows. And then that also led me to recording season 3 of Pete and Pete and putting that on the internet. And I think it's like,
whoa,
it might be still one of the original sources of Pete and Pete season 3 that people get off the internet, off torrents and stuff. I'm not sure. Wow. There might be another source, but for a little while there, I think.
Did Pete and Pete never have a DVD release?
Not season 3.
Whoa.
It was canceled at the 11th hour, basically.
What?
Yeah.
Well, I don't like that.
They'd done material for it, like the commentaries and stuff, and I think they even printed quite a few of them, but they did not make it out of the warehouse.
I don't like that.
I don't either, but that's what it is.
At all. Oh.
Second season's the best anyway. Doesn't,
Okay.
It's a nice
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. So yeah, I had kind of that dual dimension of TV watching going on, mostly at the computer by myself. But then when Mom was gone, it was time to have fun with Alex. I'd move into the living room, pick up the phone, and then just watch it on the big screen.
Yes,
the relative big screen.
Yeah, I remember we were also very into Good Eats before Alton Brown went insane.
Yes, of course. Good Eats and Unwrapped.
Yes, Unwrapped. I remember buying the Good Eats DVDs. I wish
you went farther than me.
But I like. It's also how I got into my cookie baking phase, because I was coming off of a very bad breakup, and I just bought the Good Eats DVDs, and one of them was about chocolate chip cookies, and so I just started making and sending chocolate chip cookies to everybody.
Oh yeah, that's right. I did get some cookies, didn't I?
Yes, they were probably rock hard.
I think they were normal cookies.
Okay, good. Well, that's fine too then. I remember, like, also, as a dumb young kid, I don't know how shipping things works. Like, I don't know that I can just seal the cookies up real tight, put them in a box, take them down to the post office, and send them for a couple of bucks. So I went down to the fucking UPS store to send cookies to you and Nick Maragos, and I think it was $50 each.
Yeah.
I remember that specifically. I remember being outraged at spending $100 in 2002, 2003 money to send cookies to my friends.
But they were sent with love.
They were sent with love.
You went through with it.
I did.
I mean, you didn't try and find a cheaper rate.
No. Well, because I didn't know, because I'm a dumb... Look, I was a dumb kid. Now I'm a dumb adult, but I was dumber as a kid.
Yeah.
And my way of thinking as a kid was, well, I mean, if that's the price they give me, that must be just what it costs. So I would just pay it.
This must have come up in conversation with us, because I had been shipping stuff on eBay for years prior.
Yeah.
And I feel like I must have told you to just go to the post office.
Yeah. I mean, also, here's how dumb I was with money. Like, I didn't quite understand the value of money.
Because again,
I bought a boat. It's landlocked. What was I doing?
And you would park it at the dorm?
I mean, I did. It just, it got towed / destroyed.
What's that bleeding from outside?
The marina. I was also I was coming out of my bubble existence, my upper middle class, just white bubble existence, and I did not understand the value of money. I didn't know what things were worth. I had no concept of it. In 2002, 2003, I sold a car. I was driving a 1991 Toyota Celica.
Classic.
It was a third-hand car that used to belong to one of my dad's friends. And, he just gave it to me. Like, first of all, free car. So, like, that's not, I didn't work for shit. It's just, here's a car.
Yeah.
Now, the car was not in great condition, and I did not know how to take care of a car. I don't think I changed the oil in 4 years. and I just ended up selling it to an ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend.
Okay.
And I didn't know what things were worth. I don't know what, I'm like, what do I sell a car for? I know cars are expensive, but he's like, I told him I was selling the car, and he's like, how much do you want for it? And I say, boy, I don't know. And I didn't know if he was haggling, or I don't know how those sorts of things work. So he just said,
he thought you were haggling.
I got him down to $1. No, I just took the first price he put out, which was $500.
All right.
So I sold a 1991 Toyota Celica convertible for $500. Granted, not in great condition. The engine was about to seize up because no one, idiot didn't put oil in the car for 4 years.
Unmaintained, yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, I certainly should have asked for more than $500.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, it's see, that's one of those things you don't. I mean, if you grow up in a shitty bubble, you don't learn those kinds of things in college.
Your dad never told you to look up the Kelley Blue Book value?
No. You don't learn those kinds of things until you move out on your own and understand the value of money. And oh shit, this is how much rent is every month. This is how much XYZ is every month. Yeah. And then suddenly, you quickly gain an appreciation and understanding of how to handle money. But until that point, I was completely clueless.
Yeah, I get it.
You do.
I have, because I did all that years later in San Francisco, my stories aren't exactly lined up.
Yeah.
As far as aren't lined up temporally. So I won't flood the show with any of that, but yeah, I understand.
You can, though. You can flood the show. That's what this show is.
Okay. Sure, Alex.
It is.
We'll see how it performs.
We're talking about anything even remotely relating to the year 2003.
Right. That's why I said that San Francisco was 2006. So
okay,
it doesn't relate.
Around that was also around the time when I was sort of getting a handle on my own sexuality, which that's gonna be in a patrons only episode.
Okay.
So eat that. Take that to the bank and smoke.
Wait, this is patrons only. Oh, shit. Okay.
Well, but we're releasing the first one to everybody.
Okay, right.
It would maybe. Well, okay. Maybe we'll release the future ones to everybody, but in the background, as kind of a watermark, it's just the Alex drop over and over and over again throughout the entire episode.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
All right.
No, we're not doing that. These episodes 2 through 16 are going to be patrons only until the day we die. Then they unlock.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Well, then subscribe now and you shall hear
Canadian sex secrets.
I'm not Canadian. I did date a Canadian. I did date a Canadian for a couple of years.
Yeah.
That'll be in there. We'll talk about that. That resolved in 2006, but we'll talk about it anyway.
Yeah, that's definitely relevant. I
like the idea that this podcast is just a vessel for us to discuss Alex and Ray : the early years.
Mostly Alex.
That's
far.
what it is. Yeah. Hey, well, I mean, just, you can talk about whatever.
Well, we had to spend an hour figuring out which dorm you were in.
This show is functionally No More Whoppers Origins. So, if you have origins, we need to hear them.
Yeah.
Right? You got bit by a radioactive ray. Right?
I mean, this is the thing, is that I was so stunted as an adult, nothing was going on really except staying at home all the time.
That can be fun. And
trying to make somewhat of a name for myself, getting started in writing game reviews and news and things. So yeah, that's yes, that's mildly interesting.
Yes.
But in terms of day-to-day socializing or lack thereof, not a whole lot in 2002 or 3.
Yeah, socializing was just a fucking
because I said, like I was saying, I didn't get to community college until 2004 because it was finally just bearing down on me. Then I did that for a little bit and then also got a job and all that stuff. Then eventually got the offer to move to San Francisco. And then, yeah, that's when everything changed.
Didn't you work at a CVS at some point?
No, I worked at Fred Meyer.
Fuck! God damn it. Fred Meyer.
Yeah, and that was mostly 2005 and 06. So
Oh, okay. That's definitely post Italian Job.
Yes.
Okay.
So I guess in 2003, like I was, well, first of all, at the beginning of the year, we started our website.
That's right.
After the GIA closed.
Now, hang on. Let's not forget the brief interstitial period between the GIA and Crunk Games, known as Game Forms.
Yes, of course.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
I want to say it was like all the tertiary GIA people who just didn't want to give up on making a site.
Yeah.
And I think it was also a lot of Ed McLaughlin.
Yeah. He had come back to do that.
Yeah. I think Jeremy Steimel was involved, who had good intentions, and it was you and me. And
yeah, it was mostly all the current people before the founders decided to stop.
Yeah.
And some other people who had already moved on, and like Nick, for example, already moved on he moved to San Francisco first and then got his job and things like that.
That's right. Yeah. He, in 2002, he contacted me because gamers.com needed freelancers. And he was just like, hey, do you want to write for Gamers? I said, yeah, I ain't doing nothing.
Yeah. 2002, really?
Yeah.
Was it? Okay. I didn't know. They didn't contact me yet.
Oh no!
No, wait. I'm sorry. I'm wrong. I'm misremembering. I did do that too.
That was also when
wrong site.
That was also when I wrote a preview for Animal Crossing based on not an early version of the game, but I got an early release of the game because I won a contest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it dovetailed nicely with, hey, we need you to write a preview for Animal Crossing. Do you have a build of the game? Oh, yeah, I do. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Course. Well, that's probably what they meant even. So
yeah.
I mean, they had that ambassador program contest type thing. Yeah. Where you can,
don't get me started on ambassador programs.
And yeah, they wanted people to try it out. It was a weird thing for Nintendo at the time, especially when the GameCube was already mired in this the kiddie perception. So for them to, I think, try and get some slightly older people interested in Animal Crossing, they would have that kind of that outreach to sort of get a contest to, be one of the first people to try it out.
Yes, the Animal Outreach Program.
Yeah.
That was, I went so hard on the first Animal Crossing, I think it ruined me for all future Animal Crossings.
Yeah, I agree. I stopped after the DS one.
I mean, my buddy Jason got me a copy of the newer one on Switch. So I did enjoy that for a couple months, but even after a couple months, I was like, I've done this on the GameCube. but she's got a new hat. I don't care, though.
Yeah. Yeah, my wife bought it for Switch because she got suckered into it, and then it wasn't really what she wanted because that's not the kind of games she usually plays. So it didn't last that long.
I think I did buy the DS one for my wife because she had to go in for surgery a couple years ago.
DS or 3DS?
She was getting surgery on her 3DS. I think it was 3DS. Yeah, it was definitely 3DS.
That makes sense.
And yeah, she really enjoyed it. She really got into also Tomodachi Collection. She got really into.
Sure, yeah.
Which is just goofy fun.
Yeah, very similar.
I think, unfortunately, I also bought her Mother 3.
Okay. Was this how you courted her?
No. But I didn't know about the story. I didn't know it was such a downer. Fortunately, she didn't have time to play it. She was only in the hospital for a couple days. But like, that's not a game you want to play when you're like in a hospital bed.
I guess not. No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a real fucking downer. And then I was looking for Mother 1 and 2 on GBA, but that's still stupid expensive because she does love Earthbound. And she would have loved to play it in bed, I bet. Well, now she can play it on the Switch, folks. Nintendo Switch Online. Get it now. It's a couple bucks a month. You'll thank the maker.
It's more than a couple.
Is it? How much is it?
It's more than a couple.
What?
I don't remember
basic
offhand.
Nintendo. It's like $8 a year. What the fuck are you talking about?
Okay, but literally more than a couple. I rest my case.
No, though. How much is Nintendo Switch Online per year? The base one.
Well, it's more than I don't remember. Is what I'm trying to do.
It's not. No, I'm saying it's not more than a. I'm Googling this right now. How much is Nintendo Switch Online? Not up in line.
Oppa Gangnam Style.
Thank you. A basic Nintendo Switch Online membership is $19.99 for a year. Let's do some math here. Let's round up to 20 divided by 12. That's $1 2/3 per month. That's not more than a couple bucks a month. That's less than $2 a month.
But that's for the yearly plan.
Ergo, yes, the yearly plan. Ergo, fuck yourself.
However, the 1 month a la carte plan is $3.99 USD. 3 is more than 2. It's more than a couple. I rest my case.
I'm talking about the yearly. Who buys the monthly plan? Who's enough of a fucking caveman to buy the monthly plan?
Frugal gamers.
Frugal. Nobody's frugal. Wait, why would frugal gamers buy the yearly plan?
But they may not use it all that year. Goes both ways. I rest my case.
You rest your case? I thought that was just a figure of speech. Case closed.
I should add, by the way, the Nintendo DS is 2004. We're talking about 2003 here.
I do apologize.
Yeah. Get it
Sorry.
together.
All right. So 2003. You know what? We still haven't even started talking about this clip. Let's give it just a brief overview here. Hang on. I got to play it for everybody. I know you've already watched this on YouTube, but let me just play it for everybody so we're all caught up. There we go.
Yeah.
We open with I believe there's 1 or 2 frames of the Sprint logo.
That's right.
Was that your carrier at the time?
No, it wasn't. But this, I think, was the last bastion of the Sprint pin drop commercial.
Oh, yeah.
Campaign.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that it was stretching out into 2003 is kind of amazing to me now that I remember it. But yeah, they were still doing it.
Amazing.
Now we did not see all of that commercial. We just see this logo for a couple of frames. I don't even remember. Was this also still when Candice Bergen was doing the ads?
That I don't know. It's very possible.
Was that more of a 90s thing, Candice Bergen?
I know Kramer was on Murphy Brown, but that's all I know.
Kramer's on Murphy Brown.
I think I did. That was my last phone before I came to move to Japan. Was a Sprint, a little silver number, and I distinctly remember. This again is in 2006, so later than this. But I had a Sprint phone with a Final Fantasy X-2 wallpaper.
Wow.
And I didn't realize that. I guess even back then, Square Enix was, hey, here's some goofy wallpapers for your phone.
Yeah, that'll be $4.99.
It was free.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was Yuna crossing her guns. So every time I opened up my phone, I could see Miguel. What's up?
Right. I thought you were talking about. Did you download it from like the phone's store?
No. Yes. This was an official like store tie-in kind of thing.
Oh, so it was like, but was it? I mean, was it on the phone or a website?
On the phone.
Okay, got it.
Downloaded through the phone.
That's all I need to know.
I was just tooling around the phone and I saw download wallpaper. I'm like, okay, what do you got? Final Fantasy X-2. Oh, really?
Yeah. Of course, that game.
I happen to love that game.
That game is also contemporary. We can talk about 10-2 sometime.
We're gonna the next episode, because next episode is episode 2.
Yeah, Candice Bergen. It was kind of a weird choice for a celebrity for Sprint. I mean, she did a good job.
Sure.
Those were memorable ads.
I don't remember those ads at all, so they're not memorable for me.
Well, in a sense that you remembered it was Candice Bergen.
Yeah, okay, I do remember that.
And she was selling you phone service, so there you go.
Moshi Bergen des.
You did bring up the Kramer thing, and I feel like that that Seinfeld crossover was really the only time that show was watchable. Murphy Brown.
Yes. Oh, I thought you were talking about Michael Richards' Meltdown, which I thought was also in 2003.
No, I don't remember. We'll look it up.
I don't remember either.
Next episode.
Look it up, man. We're gonna have the intern look it up.
Yeah, we'll play the clip of that at the start of the show.
No. Absolutely not.
I was just saying that, like, I really did like Murphy Brown, though.
I've never seen an episode.
I feel bad for that. I watched mostly in reruns, I believe, but something about it appealed to me. I think in some ways the character of Murphy reminded me of my mom, just sort of like, I don't know, a fiery woman in her 40s, I suppose. But it didn't really take after, watching it for a few more years. Once I got a little bit older, it's like, I was just like, and then you get even older, and then I go back on YouTube and look at old episodes, like, wow, this is really not funny. This is...
Oh, no. It doesn't hold up?
It doesn't really hold up. And then they rebooted it a couple years ago, which was even more excruciating because, of course, every episode had to be about Trump, and that didn't really work, and it really just wasn't funny anyway. But that was the thing also, rebooting sitcoms from the 90s. Of course, there was The Conners alongside that, but there was for a hot minute, there was a Murphy Brown revival, and boy, it was really not good.
Now, I remember the controversy in that show was she used to sleep in a Murphy bed. Which she used to
very controversial, yes.
Yes, because at the time we were all sleeping in beds that were just affixed firmly to the ground, and she's got this thing in the wall, which was not done.
Just wouldn't that be great if that was on the show? She would come home and flip down the Murphy bed.
Murphy bread. She's eating a sandwich on Murphy bread.
Excuse me, I meant bed.
No, you didn't.
Murphy Brown's Murphy bread.
Right, you said go to bread.
Yeah,
I said go to your bread.
I just anyway, that would have been funny.
Oh, geez.
But I did. I liked and appreciated Murphy Brown the show enough as a kid that I ended up going to like a reunion interview thing at the San Francisco Sketch Fest.
Okay.
In like 2014, 15. I don't remember, but it was basically just Candice Bergen and the creator of the show. I think her name was Diane English.
Okay.
It's basically like an evening with those two in a theater.
Just an evening?
And then we also watched their favorite episode, which was the one where she finally gave birth to her child and everything.
Of course.
Wasn't that special?
Yes.
But that
was big because it was the first baby on television.
But yeah, that wasn't even like a memorable experience to me. And I just walked away wondering why I spent the money for a ticket on the thing.
Oh, no.
Not in any sort of like bad thing on the presenters. It was just like, why did I do that? I didn't really.
Yeah.
Why am I like 27 going to this? It really isn't even relevant to me anymore. And to be honest, mostly a lot of women in that audience.
Right.
Not sure really what a solitary man has any business being there. Just kind of liked sitcoms, I guess, and that's why I went there.
Yeah, I mean, in that context, I think it makes sense.
I went to much better, similar shows, for example, for News Radio, and
oh man, yeah,
and Pete, as it turned out,
Pete.
But yeah, I just look back on that and laugh. Like, why did I do that again?
I think there were Sketchfest shows, but you did send me more than a couple bootlegs. I think Never Not Funny, Sketchfest bootlegs.
And I recorded the tribute to Conan O'Brien.
Oh, that's right.
Because I felt like that was going to be an important thing to record, especially at the time. It was like when he was just started or about to start his tour and all that stuff. And that was with Patton Oswalt, and that was a good show.
Oh, wow.
And I did put that on the Internet Archive. You can find that on there.
Very nice.
You can tell when I'm laughing because did
that not? I could have sworn that had an official release, but I guess not.
I have no idea.
Oh, I don't know.
See, I didn't know either way, so I recorded it just in case.
Because I know most of the Never Not Funny shows that you went to had an official release, but it was really cool for me to hear them like 2 weeks ahead of time.
Yeah, that was mostly just for you.
Yeah.
Doing Never Not Funny.
Thank you.
But the Conan one I had plans to distribute.
Wow. That was, if I'm not mistaken, that was back when before Pat Francis was sort of disgraced from the NNF family.
Oh yeah.
Which I looked into. Like I only found one thing, like on a very old Reddit post. It was basically like, yeah, Pat like showed up to a podcastathon really drunk or got really drunk at a podcastathon and was just mortifying. And they just never invited him back to anything.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks because I used to like his eBay bit every now and then.
Too much sauce for Pat Francis.
Yeah, too much sauce. Get off the sauce. It's working for me. Hi, I'm Alex.
I mean, it is a little bit sad because those guys worked together for so long, even before the podcast.
They did. Yeah. They worked together for years. Yeah.
Imagine breaking up with you.
No.
Imagine you stumbling and drunk somewhere. I know you don't anymore. You don't drink.
No.
But yeah, imagine if you had done that and embarrassed me and I had no choice but to cut you out of my life.
No, please don't.
Not yet.
Okay. Oh, thank God.
We're working on it.
Yeah, because I think Jimmy and Pat, they, like, when they first moved to LA, I think it was, I know Jimmy did this, like, used to work for, maybe it was Scott Ackerman, maybe it was all those guys. Like, in the early 90s in LA, they worked for a company that was getting into, or maybe the mid 90s, getting into making webisodes. Right. Before they were called webisodes, but like writing content for.
They were probably called webisodes.
Video, yeah. Which I would love to see if any of those survive, because I'm fascinated by that kind of shit.
Oh, there's a couple with some the Jimmy Pardo ones, yeah.
Oh man, I love it. All right, okay, so we got.
Oh, okay. What? I was just going to talk more about those, but all right.
We can save it for episode 2. We got a lot more to cover.
You're right.
By which I mean two things. Next, okay, we got the Sprint logo. Hang on, we need a refresh here in case people missed it. All right.
Yeah.
Next up is the Paramount logo. Quality studio. Check it out. Indiana Jones.
Now that's what that beep at the beginning is.
The beep is Paramount?
Am I wrong?
Yeah, because we don't hear Sprint. It's just 2 frames of Sprint with no sound.
Sprint's done. Get the fuck
Sprint's done, baby. We got the beep. The beep is Paramount. And then the dome. I think it's just a trailer sound effect because we're cutting to Edward Norton pulling a gun and turning 90 degrees.
This is just a perfect cut, I gotta say.
It's great.
Just one of those, just swinging a gun across the screen.
It's and action.
With his mouth slightly open.
Like he's about to say something.
Yeah.
Oh, Ed, what's going on?
Maybe he's got gum in there.
Oh, no, gun. He has a gun.
Gum and gun.
Oh, no. You can't have both. Oh.
That's my block on QVC. Gum and guns.
Keep both out of our schools is what I'm saying.
This whole clip, just listening to it by itself, it sounds like the beginning of a PlayStation commercial as well.
It does.
It's that PlayStation brand sound they used for years, and I guess I'm not sure what that's supposed to sound like. To me, it always sounded like an airplane, like the overhead lights on the airplane, like that kind of like cartoon sound effect of like in PlayStation ads, and that always reminded me of of some sort of like airplane light, even though that never factored into in any of the actual PlayStation ads. It was just the sound. Yeah. But this also sounds just like that. Yeah.
I was watching a couple Saturdays ago at the bar. Me and Tom we got on a tear of watching David Lynch interviews on YouTube.
Okay.
And we stumbled upon something labeled David Lynch PlayStation advert, which we don't think was actually directed by David Lynch, but was done in a Lynchian style. And it was just real stupid, just real dumb. It may have he remembers seeing it, so it may have only aired in the UK.
Oh yeah, I think it was it was a UK ad. He did direct one, yeah.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. This is real. He did,
but it looks like a parody. It's like a modern day John Linnell song. It sounds like a parody of himself.
I know, right? But allegedly, it really was him directing that silly commercial. Yeah.
What? That's bonkers! I got to tell Tom. He's gonna flip his lid.
No, it was
lid equals flipped.
It was real Lynch.
Wow. All right.
But if you're David Lynch getting paid either way,
right?
You'll just do it. Like if it was me, like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll reach back into my repertoire and pull something out that looks like something I used to do. Yeah, that's what you want, right? So okay, go ahead.
I just
Money,
remember
please.
My first reaction to watching that commercial was it seemed too cheap to have been like it felt like Sony went to David Lynch and said, can you make us a PlayStation commercial? And he said, here's some ideas. And then they came back with, well, here's the budget. And then he just looked at it and went, make it work. That's what the commercial feels like. There was not enough money to really do anything. It's goofy. It's not goofy. It's just weird for weird's sake. Which isn't, I don't think it's fair to necessarily, kind of pigeonhole David Lynch into weird for weirdness' sake, because I think a lot of the stuff he does is very artistic and has a direction and a meaning. But this commercial just felt like parody.
I get it, but he got paid.
Good for him.
That's probably all he needed.
Good. Speaking of getting paid, we have to be that if you want to hear the rest of these episodes.
Right.
I think we can wrap it up here for episode 1 of Golden 16 Seconds. We've covered all of this.
No more final thoughts?
No, do I have final thoughts? We're just
I want to see
it.
who he's pointing this gun at.
Right? Who has angered Edward Norton to the point where he would produce a firearm on them?
Alex, he's playing a character in a film.
What? I've misunderstood this entire
not
show.
His real mustache.
Oh, no. It's an actor. It's a tiny little actor.
Right, yeah.
Okay. So our tradition is we like to play the entire trailer up to this point at the end of every episode.
Okay.
There we go.
There we go.
We're going to build on it for next episode.
I'm
very excited.
Yes.
Oh, what do we got coming up? Yes, if you're listening to this if you're listening on the free feed, thank you. This, you do whatever you want. Print this out, put it around the Christmas tree. I don't give a shit. But if you want to hear the rest, $5 and up on the Patreon. Is $5 the max? I don't remember. And you'll get this.
Max is a relative.
Also, just as a reminder to folks who are on the Patreon at the $5 level, if you're listening to this on the normal feed and you're not subscribed to the patrons feed, get on that, because that's where the new episodes will be in the future. It's the one with the purple icon. Go to Patreon. Go to our Patreon. Look for podcast RSS feed or some such nonsense. It's buried under a bunch of menus. It's really stupid. I think we posted a way to get to it a few months back, but yeah, ask on the Discord if you have any questions. I'm Alex.
Okay, great.
All right. Oh my! Oh, I don't know how to end these. I didn't think it up. Do we? Oh man, because this is for gold subscribers. For golder subscribers. All right. Shit, Ray. Thanks for being a good sport.
Anytime.
All right, everyone else. Keep your nose clean, and we'll see you next week. Platinum subscribers, stick around till after the show.
We should do something more original.
We can't eat all these bagels. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Until next time, may Norton be with you.
Oh, we should do so. We should go out saying something together.
Okay.
What about just we're ready to believe you? Just until next time, and then together we say we're ready to believe.
That's a third movie now. We're referencing in the thing.
Yeah, what's wrong with
that? We'll see you for another Italian Job. That was just my mind trying to imagine it as a TV news magazine.
Come back, Raishu, for more Itari and no Shigoto.
All right, none of that. This has been the Italian Job. He's the Italian Slob. And we'll see you next time for another...
We could just say the name together.
Fine, okay.
3, 2, 1. Golden 16 seconds. Do it again. Hang on. 3, 2, 1. Golden. You gotta say it on 0. 3, 2, 1, go. 3, 2, 1. Golden 6. Why are you not saying it? What is going on?
I thought I did. Okay.
I'm not hearing you. It is. All right.
You might have to just do it in post.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I'm going to line them up better in post, but I just want to sing them at the same speed.
Yes, okay.
3, 2, 1. Golden 16 seconds. What is happening? What is going on?
Sorry, classic bloopers.
Try it again.
Bloopers
just say
and practical
golden
jokes.
Just say. Oh,
I gotta get the laughs out of me.
Just say golden 16 seconds.
Golden 16 seconds.
There, that's it. Perfect.
Now just the ladies.
Golden 16 seconds.
That's Toad.
Sorry. In a way, the show is a lot about how we're getting old. Get it?
Got old. Homer Simpson doesn't say gold. He says
growing old together. Good thing these new rolled gold pretzels are fat free.
Rolled gold redemption.
Oh, fuck. Oh, man. It hit me just right.
I guess so.
Rolled Gold Redemption. Oh, fuck.
Alrighty. I love when it hits.
Oh, it does. Real good.